Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this Tuesday morning, December 9th. Got an interesting show and a really good show lined up for you. First, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical at the corner of Baldwin and 77. It's going to be a little bit cooler than they said than they predicted. It's going to get down to 39 tonight, high of 64. Water temperature at 63. River readings, take a look at our river readings. Apalachicola, Bluntstown. Real level is going to be 4.1 today and stay that way the rest of the week. Looking really good. The Choctawhatchee, the same thing, no kind of action we seen over there in the Choctawhatchee at Caryville. It's reading a 3.7. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent, Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Good strong tide today. We're looking at a low tide at 8:35 this morning and a high tide at 10:09 tonight. Good 2-foot tides there. Marine forecast is coming out northwest at 10 to 15. That's why it's going to be cool for a couple of days. But it's just seasonal weather, okay? Let's take a look at this segment also in our fishing game forecast brought to us by Mark Cowart of Edgewater Beach Realty. We're going to go and get it done so we don't forget it at the end. Our times today, two special times. This morning, 1:55 a.m. to 3:55. But this afternoon, 2:19 to 4:19. Appreciate Mark Howard bringing that to us and sharing all that information with us on Panhandle Outdoors. Now we're going to set up our video. What we have, I plan on, this is such a unique program and all. We can do so many different things, and this is like a one of a kind. I've had so many different opportunities to do different things with folks and all. This past Saturday was the retirement celebration of Stan Kirkland. Now Stan's been with FWC for 38 years, and they hosted it at the National Guard Armory here in Panama City. And we went to it and took the camera, and we planned to shoot 5 or 6 minutes of it, and we did, but we shot. It was so good, folks. I just want to share this with you. Some really good talks and all. It's like the guys at FWC said, this 38-year tenure that Stan Kirkland will never be repeated in this day and age. And he was so well respected by his peers, and he was such a vital part of the whole Panhandle. He grew up here and spent so much of his life, and he's a man of integrity. And we got there, and saw so many people there. Captain Noor was there, Scott Lindsay, and so many of the other folks, the guys and girls, ladies that worked with him, and his family, and his son surprised him. He flew in from Utah to be down. It was just one of those wonderful experiences. And I was talking to Gail. I said, you know, our viewers, the vast majority of our viewers would appreciate something like this to be shared with you, and it's just one of these opportunities that we've had to do this, and that's what makes I think our show unique compared to any show in America, that we're able to do stuff like this. And Stan just very humble and grateful, and we're going to get him on the show one more time, but he's about officially retired as of this week. But they just did such an honorable job, different talks and all. It was a joyful occasion, and it was just something I think we just want to share with y'all. So let's go ahead and we get ready to roll this video, and I think you're really going to enjoy it.
You see, I'm here today because it's important. I'm here today to honor a man that I think, if you look at his life and you look at the conduct by which he conducted himself, you would find in his life, you would find the solution to so many of the problems that we in our culture face today. You see, I know Stan not just as the father of one of our team members, Bethany, but I know Stan as a friend. And as a man of faith, and I am a man of faith, we are brothers in Christ. And I've seen a man that has exhibited and lived out the principles of his faith, both in his personal life, his marriage to Pam, and his parenting of his 3 children. But he's also lived out his faith in the way that he's conducted the business of outdoors. And he has made our community proud. And so I'm thrilled today to be here to acknowledge his incredible contribution, the professionalism in which he conducted himself, and yet also overseeing the affairs of the outdoors while enjoying the outdoors and being an example of how to enjoy the outdoors at the same time. He wasn't a part of this, of overseeing the outdoors from afar. He's involved. You look at these photos, man, these are great photos. Look at the deer, look at the fish, the turkey. You know, it's those of you who enjoy these activities that we need to be in oversight.
I don't ever prepare notes, I just speak from my heart. Stan and I go back many, many, many years, and we always would bring together. We had meetings. We always were close. We would turkey hunt in the spring. We would do things different times. And one of my best friends I ever had with Fish and Wildlife after all those years. We still stay in contact, still love each other. I still pray for him on a regular basis because he needs it.
I've known Stan a long time, known his family a long time, and just what a great situation it is to have a chance to talk with him. Stan has many great qualities, and you've heard some of them. I'm going to mention some of the great qualities in a minute, but first I'm going to tell you one quality he does not possess, and that's the ability to have navigational skills. In October, Stan rode my wife and I to Lake Fontana, North Carolina, to the 50th Annual CEOPA Conference. That's the Southeastern Outdoor Press Association. Stan had encouraged me for years to join, and I finally joined, and I'm so glad I did. And we just had a wonderful time up there, and it was just a special time. And Stan is the former president of that group. And if you know anything about Stan Crumpler, just watching him those 3-4 days and watching these some of the best writers and journalists in the country come talk to him and see the respect they had for Stan. It was just awesome seeing that. And so we spent some wonderful time up there, and we made it up there okay. But Stan, I was driving and Stan was navigating, and Gail was in the back seat reading a book. So we're getting ready to leave on Sunday morning, and you leaving those mountains, you know, you got to turn off here. I said, Stan, I can't take miles off the road. Tell us where to go and everything. Stan, and I got it. He said, I got it. We turned there. He said, no, keep going that way. And I said, okay. I said, this don't look familiar. Well, about 45 minutes, you know, we were planning on leaving. It was straight from North Carolina straight into Georgia. Well, about 45 minutes later, welcome to Tennessee. So what? But it turned out well. We had instead of that 9-hour trip back to Panama City, we had an 11-hour trip full of Stan Crumpler stories. So, you know what I mean by that. Great qualities of integrity. I wrote them down here. This is funny because I started thinking about all these, people repeat the same thing: integrity, honesty, trustworthiness. People you count on, the love of family, the love of God. The same thing the Congressman talked about. I started thinking, he's a grown-up Boy Scout. Look at his qualities and all. I personally experienced his help, and like so many of you. We started the Outdoor Ed program at Mosley High School over 20 years ago. And Stan was so instrumental in encouraging me to get it started, and coming on and helping, coming as a guest speaker, teaching these kids how to, they're fascinated. He measured the deer horns and everything, and he had them fascinated. He's been such a help to the Mosley Outdoor Ed program. Every year he gets us out 200-something safe boating booklets and tests and all that. We owe so much to him for helping out. And also on a morning TV show, Brad Holland years ago started a morning TV show. Captain Roy Ray kept me going, and Brad stepped out, and Captain Roy Ray was just, he asked me to come along and help him, and it going on from there. And Captain Roy, one of the first things we did was we got to get Stan Crumpler on the show. So Stan was always a staple on the morning TV shows, and still he has an amazing following on the show. And I want to give you an example of it. Steve, you can appreciate this. You know, the viewing audience, so we have, you know, these are the grassroots people in the Florida Panhandle that love the outdoors. And the commission can come up, and this is where one of his unique qualities comes in. The commission can come up with one of these rules and regulations that the grassroots people just don't quite understand, don't quite agree with. And I'll get emails, and Steve, you know, I'll get emails and calls. I say, wait a minute, I'm going to get Stan to come on the show. He'll explain to y'all. And so Stan comes on the show, and I won't call out any particular rule. Louis, you probably know some of them too. Stan will come on the show, and it is down home, Jackson County, laid back, kind, and generous way of explaining things, would explain that rule. And these same people, next time I saw them, they'd be scratching their head. Well, I understand it a little bit better now. I don't like it, but I still understand it better because Stan was able to explain it. That was a unique, I've seen that happen over and over again, and that was his unique quality. His career with FWC just parallels his life as a man. A man full of faith, a man who was always fair, a man of integrity. And I think we all in there can testify to that. Two words I think of, I was trying to think of something neat to say, and I just think about committed and loyal to the job, to his family, to his country, to his church, and that's the kind of man that is described by our previous speakers. We look back, and I look back on a man that I could always call. Scott Lindsay would often call each other, and we talk a lot. Scott does the outdoor article for the News Herald. And Scott, between Scott and Stan and I, we solved most of the problems here in the Florida Panhandle and probably throughout the Southeast. But a lot of times we wouldn't understand. Before Scott wrote the article, a lot of times he would call Stan to make sure he understood it right. Then he'd call me, and I would get confused again. He'd call Stan again. But we want to wish you the very best, Stan. You're here surrounded by family and friends, and one common denomination here is everybody loves you, and everybody appreciates the job you've done. I've got to say, we want to wish you an abundant retirement, rich with family memories, and hopefully you get your garden going. And another thing too I would say about his family, when we did the outdoor ed class, son Brandon was in my class, and Brandon, of course, we all know, is a doctor now, and we talked about it. We feel like Brandon owes his ability to get through medical school with all the things he learned in Mosby Outdoor Ed. and Sarah, his beautiful daughter Sarah, and Bethany, and Sarah took outdoor ed. Not only did she take the class, she was elected by her peers as the Outdoor Ed Club president. And I was just honored there. So what a great relationship we've had over the years. I'm honored. And Sam, we wish you an abundant retirement. Hope God blesses you with many beautiful sunrises, lots of talking turkeys, and a plethora of hungry fish as your reward for a job well done. We know you and Pam will be doing some traveling, so I'll have you on that.
I'm going to take a couple minutes before I get to the official stuff, because I learned two things when I got here today, when I came through the door. And one of them was that I was going to be doing this presentation from my boss, who's unable to be here, so I'm throwing him under the bus right now. The second thing I learned, that you could sign up to speak, prior to these official ceremonies, and I didn't know that. Otherwise I would have. So rather than come up twice, I'm going to do what I want to say right this second, if it's okay with everybody. And if not, so be it. All those turkeys committed suicide in front of you over the years? Now come on now. Lead poisoning. I just want to say real quick, I've known Stan now over 15 years, And there was a number of years that we worked pretty much side by side in our office before the merger. And then after the merger, they shipped me over to another office, but Stan and I worked pretty close together the entire time. As most of you know, usually when something goes on in the community or somebody violates the law enforcement is in the middle of it. And in order to do our outreach and get the media, pacified, satisfied, we have to work with Stan to get that done for us. And as a bunch of people have alluded to here today, Stan is the best there is at doing that. And as you know, Stan, between the times that you and I worked together on a lot of controversial law enforcement matters, I always knew that I could give Stan the nuts and bolts of it. And as it was said here earlier, Stan can smooth them around and get the media taken care of. So we didn't have to worry about the media after he got the information. But another really special attribute that Stan had that helped law enforcement out is that's where he started. He started as a law enforcement officer, so he's been through the training and he's kept up with the training all throughout his career, even though he chose a different path later. But when I sat down with Stan and talked about law enforcement issues, procedures, evidentiary matters, and things that we can and can't release to the media, he understood because that's where he started. So it made it a lot easier on us in our division when we needed Stan for those sorts of things that I didn't have to start from the bottom with him because he knows the basics. So we just give him the facts and he could take care of it for us. And he did a wonderful job at it. And you are going to be missed, but I wish you the best. And I know you've had a long career, and it's truly an honor to have known you and worked side by side with you for a number of years. And all I can say is we're losing an asset that not only our division relied on, but for me personally, that it was a lot of fun. Thanks. Now, on behalf of the Division of Law Enforcement, I would like to present you with this shadow box, which is your Retirement Reserve Officer Badge, and in the patch displayed from both of the agencies that both you and I have worked for.
One of the things that I was tasked with doing was to record public meetings. Now, this was back in the 70s, and they were the most painful experiences that you could, I would compare it to sitting in an ant pit. We were required to go and to have all of these people come and tell us what they didn't like about and why you would do that to your employees. I don't know, but I wasn't making the call. I was just one of the soldiers that was told to go and make it happen. So at this one of my first meetings, my job was to record the meeting, and I had another job. It was to sign up everybody that came in, and particularly to record who wanted to speak. And so my job was to set up the recording equipment, have the mic set up at the front table, and so I had a table off to the side. And then I was to give our regional manager, then we didn't call them regional directors, but we called them regional manager. And it was, we had a big towering guy, his name was Tom Garrison. And Tom was a wonderful guy. Norman, you remember Tom. And Tom was getting ready to go, and he was kind of looking at me. And so I got this list of people, recognized as Representative Ron Johnson. He said, Ron, we're glad to have you here. state representative, and he said, and he looks down at his card, and then he said, and I see I have Mr. I.C. Butts with the Panhandle Spear Chuckers Association. And I was staring at the recording equipment, and I looked up, and I said, what did he say? I looked at him, and he turned and looked at me. And of course, we got 150 dog hunters who are ticked off because they think we're fixing to do something to their dog hunting. And we had fishermen that were there for about various things. The only people that got it in the room was a row of about 10 GFC employees. And they laughed. There was one who did not laugh. He turned as red as a beet, and at the first break, he ducked out of the room. So I knew who did it. And after the meeting, Tom came up to me, and I sat there and I sweated bullets because Tom had a reputation of being a very kind of a tough guy. And I said, I am toast. I said, he is going to chew me up and spit me out. And I was just sweating. I mean, you talk about my underarms were wet. I had sweat on my forehead. And when he did like this, and at the break, I said, well, I'm fixing to get it. So I walk outside, you know, like a puppy dog. I trail him out the door. And he walked out there and he said, where was Mr. Butts? And I said, okay, I don't know. I walked back and I said, surely he got it. I said, but I'm not telling you. So, but that was my introduction to public meetings.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.